As a kid, I was very thoughtful and reflective and always looking around at other children that I was friends with and seeing how their families treated them and how they behaved. And one of the things I remember is noticing that if I was hanging out with a friend at their house, their parents would sometimes be very strict with them and punish them for things that my mum didn't seem to mind so much about. And I remember coming home once and I'd done something that I thought was naughty or bad or in some way I should be punished for, and noticing that my mum didn't punish me for that. And she just kind of spoke to me and um, asked me why I did it. And I actually felt really upset that I wasn't punished because to not be punished made me feel that I was separate or somehow special or unlike these other kids. I felt like I was missing out on something, honestly. And so when she left the room, I remember I punched myself in the leg and I wanted to basically punish myself for what I'd done. And I felt that if I did that, then somehow justice would be restored and I could actually kind of reach like equilibrium in the environment and I could move on. And I think that as I've grown up, I've internalized this attitude somewhat. I remember being a lot younger and I had a relationship and I messed that relationship up. And ever since then, I sort of had this attitude of like, well, I deserve to be punished for making that mistake, and therefore I'm going to sabotage or kind of live small in certain ways because I feel like I don't deserve to have a good life or good experiences. It's kind of a subtle thing. But then there's also this feeling that, okay, well, if I suffer or if I impose limits on myself or if I limit my success, then on a spiritual level, God is going to notice, or there's going to be some kind of payoff at some point, or people will finally see how pious I am. The universe will appreciate my suffering, and then there'll be some kind of repayment. Maybe this is some kind of spiritual thing that's ingrained in me or in us. Maybe it comes from some kind of conditioning. I don't really understand. I just remember that first occasion where I was punching myself on the leg. I didn't really do it much after that, but I think it became more internalized, this idea that I'm a bad person and that I have to essentially punish myself for the things that I do wrong. And excuse me, I don't think that the world really works in this way. I think that natural cause and effect really takes care of things by themselves, and that well, there's two things that happen. I think first of all is that it builds up a kind of resentment in me because I look around and I think, well, surely I've paid enough. I've suffered enough for things to start going well for a change. I mean, things have gone well in certain ways, but it's like this kind of loyalty to suffering, essentially. Um, and so this resentment builds up where I start to look around and feel jealous or I feel envious of people whose lives I perceive are going better than mine. I mean, of course, I have no idea if that's true or not, but that's the story that I'll tell myself. And I suppose in some aspects it's true and probably in some it's not. So something that I've been thinking about recently and that I invite you to think about as well is are there any ways that you are subconsciously trying to punish yourself because you think that you have done something wrong, you think that you are wrong? People will do this in an area of their life, perhaps, and not in others. Um, for example, I feel that I am a good friend to my friends. And so I don't really um, hold back and try and punish myself in that area. I feel like I have a fairly open heart to my friends and my friendships thrive as a result. But when it comes to romantic relationships or it comes to career, I'm sort of driven by this feeling that because I've done wrong in the past or because I failed in the past, or of course suffering to others, I have some kind of debt that I need to repay, but there's not like a clear um, sense or boundary around when that debt has been paid off. It's like, was it going to just carry on forever? I mean, it's ridiculous, really. So I'm going to decide that from today that debt has been paid off, and I would encourage you also to set a date for the same, and then just to examine where are the areas that I feel that I'm punishing myself. What am I punishing myself for? And is that really what I want to do? Is that really going to give me the life that I want? So let me know what you think about this. As usual, I noticed that, you might watch this video and you might have some thoughts about it. You might completely disagree with what I'm saying. I'd really encourage you to start a conversation and we can chat about it in the comments. Thanks for your time.